Hey everyone, this is Brian again from Massey's Main Entertainment. I'm joined again by my buddy Rich and my buddy Doc from the Land of the North, and we're at second part, volume two of the best 12 songs, the second part of the best 12 songs of 1970. And wow, we had some very interesting picks on that first one. I think we were kind of starting to branch a little bit off, and I think that will only happen more as we move through the decade. Just a reminder to everybody, if you get an opportunity to check out our other videos, 1965 all the way up through 1969 are up as well. Check out the first part of this video if you haven't already. That would be great. Just a reminder how we kind of do things. What we do is, because this is a double year for us and we're picking 24 songs, we're allowing each individual to pick 2 songs from any album that they want to build their perfect album. And they can pick the singles, as long as the singles are, majority. We're kind of lenient on this, as long as a single actually charted in that particular year that you're picking them to be in. That seems to be the best way to go. You can pick an album cut if you want, as long as the album that you're picking it from the album the year that was released. And if an artist has, more than 2 albums in a particular year, then obviously, you can jump in and grab a couple extra songs by them if you want. I haven't seen us really do that, but I mean, we did, we get a little lenient there, but I mean, at least you have the opportunity to do that if you want. I think we really want to try to be well-rounded, I think, is what's going on here. And that's great. I mean, we're not trying to pigeonhole and just put 6 songs by somebody, when we have the opportunity to do so. We're just not going to do it. So that's kind of cool. Leading off tonight is going to be Rich, and I'll be following him, and then Doc's going to bat cleanup. So Rich, give me the second volume of your album here.
All right, cool. Volume 2. This not so much a theme. I stuck to the more of the classic rock favorites for this volume 2, whereas I went war songs, protest songs earlier, and then sort of some spiritual stuff. So kicking it off, this is a cover of the Temptations hit "Get Ready" by Rare Earth, kind of a Motown offshoot. I mean, they're on the Motown label, but they had their own label, Rare Earth, on Motown Records, I think it's technically called. They're out of Detroit, where Motown's based, and they're all white guys in the band. The first all-white Motown band that had a big hit, a top 10 hit. They went to number 4. This is a hard-driving kind of rock arrangement of the song "Get Ready." The drummer's the lead singer. There's some horns thrown in. A lot of people, at that time were doing horns, whether it be Blood, Sweat, and Tears or Chicago or whoever. And that was kind of a popular thing to do in rock bands at that time, was to jazz it up, especially on the pop charts. For some reason, that was selling. So that's going to kick it off. "Get Ready." And there's an album version of it where it takes up the whole side of the record, but I'm mainly going with the single version here. We don't want to beat Brian up too much, because I know he hates it.
That was side 1, everybody.
It's got a tremendous drum solo too, and it lasts about 4 minutes, the drum solo on the album. But anyway, speaking of horns, I'm going to go with the second track, 25 or 6 to 4 by Chicago, written by Robert Lamb, sung by Peter Cetera. Killer guitar solo here by Terry Kath. I mean, just an amazing guitar solo on 25 or 6 to 4. And it's kind of spacey. It's kind of psych in a way, with some jazz thrown in. Basically, these guys were sitting around all night doing drugs, looking at the clock in the late hours, trying to figure out, is it 25 or 6 to 4? I mean, how your mind gets at that hour, and trying to figure out what time it was. Just an absolute banger of a song. One of my favorite Chicago songs. Next up, little Eric Clapton with "After Midnight." This is a cover of a J.J. Cale song off the Clapton debut album. His first hit as a solo artist. Of course, he had come from stints in the Yardbirds and Cream and Blind Faith. He moved around a lot. I don't know whether it's his personality or just had the itch to do something different, but this is his solo work, "After Midnight." We're going to let it all hang out. So that's number 3. Next is a band from the Netherlands, the Shocking Blue, with "Venus." This was a number 1 hit. Catchy, hook-laden psychedelic rock band. Female lead singer named Mariska Veras, a strikingly attractive woman with the long dark hair. And unfortunately, she passed away at a young age of 59. I'm Your Venus, I'm Your Fire at Your Desire. Great song. Like I said, real catchy. Next up is my Guess Who inclusion, and that would be American Woman, the big hit, the big album, classic tune. Of course, Canadian band for Doc there. Western Canada, right? Winnipeg, Manitoba is where they're from. Burton Cummins, of course, one of the great pure voices in rock music, I think. Randy Bachman on guitar. They had a thing going on in 69, 70, 71, one hit after the next. Virtual hit machine. And their albums are good too. I mean, they're known for their singles, but this may be their signature song, although you could go No Time, you could go No Sugar Tonight, you could go Laughing. I mean, they had strings of hits. Share the Land's another one. Just one after the next. But I went with American Woman, Get Away From Me. I just like the lyrics. And it's got that it's just got that driving riff going on. And then I'm going to end side C, I guess, actually, because it's the first side here on my volume 2. And that's one that was mentioned earlier, I think, by Brian. Layla from Derek and the Dominoes. Goodfellas, notwithstanding, with the great scene at the end, the epic. The subject here is Patty Boyd, George Harrison's wife at the time, and she has an affair with Eric Clapton. He writes this song about it. Just a beautifully arranged song. The musicianship on here is first rate, with the dominoes playing, and I had to have it. I wanted it to end a certain side, so this is where it fit into my album. Iconic song, Layla.
Absolutely.
Very cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Very cool. Yeah.
I think now we're going to start getting into the trifecta era. I think, now we're going to start to see it kind of shape a little bit. If the ones we're going to have, this is where we're going to get them. So I got something coming up anyway, definitely of yours, Rich. So
interesting. Yeah, I wanted to get a Chicago song on there because at that time they were a favorite of mine. The Shocking Blue song may have been a little off the wall, but I always loved it ever since I was a kid, so I put it on there.
And these are supposed to be personal lists. That's the way it's supposed to be.
That's what it is.
Yep. And my next side is going to be similar, I think.
Let's go for it, buddy.
Let's do it. My final side. I'm going to kick it off with another one-hit wonder here. The Ides of March doing Vehicle. And those horns, kicks off with those distinctive horns again in the vein of Chicago, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I'm the friendly stranger in the black sedan. Won't you hop inside my car? I got pictures, candy. I'm a lovable man. I can take you to the nearest star. I'm your vehicle, babe. Just a fantastic one-hit wonder. The lead singer here is a guy named Jim Peterick, who went on to form Survivor, which gave us Eye of the Tiger.
Wow.
That's his little claim.
Really?
Yeah. So
wow.
That was at least how many years later? 15, 20, whatever.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go with a little Up Around the Bend, CCR, my second Creedence inclusion. I needed another Creedence song. They were huge in 1970 as they were in 69. That's their high point in their career. Great riff. Just my feet are flying as fast as I can coming up around the bend. Another great vocal by Fogerty here. It's classic CCR off the Cosmos Factory album. So that's making it. Then I'm going to go with a John Lennon song, which was released as a single called Instant Karma. I love John's vocals on here. And this is a song that really came together quickly after the Beatles broke up in the early part of 70. I think it was February of 1970. And I'm going to quote John. He goes, "I wrote it for breakfast, I recorded it for lunch, and I released it for dinner." That's how quick this song came out. And the key line is kind of, hippy dippy and, peace, love, and all that stuff. It says, "Well, we all shine on like the moon and the stars and the sun." Yeah, we all shine on. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. So I like that theme. Next is a personal song. It's called Father and Son by Cat Stevens. A real powerful acoustic masterpiece. By far and away my favorite Cat Stevens song. And I like a lot of his music. But this examines the father-son relationship. He sings both parts. He changes his voice like an octave or here or there when he's doing the father and he's doing the son. They're talking to each other in the lyrics. Very effective, very deep perspective, especially for a guy who was only 22 when he wrote the song. It's pretty amazing. So that's making my album every single time. If we had just one album, that was going to be on it. So I'm glad I had some room for some of these other songs. My fifth tune on this side is Neil Young again, back for a return visit. After the Gold Rush, title track. Another one of these beautiful songs, just accompanied by a piano. Neil claims it was an environmental song, but there's three different verses here. One's medieval celebration, which is the past. Then there's the present, which is a singer lying in a burned out basement. And then there's the future, the end of humanity. So-called chosen ones are taken away on a spaceship. Look at Mother Nature on the run in the 1970s. He's got that high-pitched voice going with that song. It's a beauty. And then I'm going to end my side and album with the Grateful Dead, Truckin'. I felt like this was a good way to end my side and album. It sort of sums up that communal hippie shared experience thing. And I like the lyric here. Sometimes the light's all shining on me. Other times I can barely see. Lately, it occurs to me what a long, strange trip it's been. So that's where I'm going with my side.
Nice. I love the father and son pick. That's, no spoiler really, but it'll make my list too when we come up on it.
Yeah.
I have something from After the Gold Rush, just not the title track, coming up as well. So
yep.
So surprisingly, Rich, yeah, I'm like, those fit you. Those songs all fit you.
They sure do.
That's not the surprise. You know what I mean? Is that you could just you listen to those songs, it would make sense that they're Rich's songs.
Yeah, and there's a bunch on the honorable mentions that fit me too. I just couldn't fit them into my sides, and just the way it goes. But yeah. I'm happy and content with what I picked for the most part.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a solid album, Rich. I like it a lot, actually.
And
we'll see that too.
All right, Brian, you're up too. Let's see what you got.
All right, let's see. I've got leading off my album number 2, side C. I've got Elton John's Your Song.
Trifecta.
It seems to be one of his, I would say, top 5 songs ever. In any list anybody makes, somebody will always have this song. From his self-titled album. It's not his first album, it's his self-titled album though. It was back then too. It seemed like he was just cranking out a lot of albums and they always just have 1 or 2 good songs on them at the time. And then it seemed like it started to get to the point that he started making albums that had more than at least 1 good song on there. I mean, it's so Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, obviously, Madman Across the Water, which is probably my favorite album of his.
Right.
But Your Song, I wanted to have that on here leading it off. Number 2 for me, I've got a little bit of a deeper song by the James Gang. I've got Ashes, The Rain and I. It's a bookend song from their James Gang Rides Again LP. What a great, you got to check that song out. Nice, great melody, kind of drawing you into the song, and it kind of bounces around a little bit at the beginning. Really cool song. I liked it much better than was it Funk 49 or what? Funk Song 49? Yeah, I liked it better than that. I thought if they did more stuff like that, I probably would be huge into the James Gang. But wanted to put that song here. That's kind of a deep cut. Number 3 for me, American Woman. The Guess Who? They're always going to seem to have a song here. This song's been covered like ad nauseum, it seems too, but different people. Probably the most recent one everybody would know would be Lenny Kravitz covering this song, like for the Austin Powers soundtrack.
That's the one I know.
Yeah.
That's right.
So great song. Probably one of the most notable riffs in history. When somebody hears it, they immediately know what song it is, and it seemed perfect for this spot. Number 4 for me, another deep cut, is by the band Hawkwind, kind of a progressive band. But this song doesn't sound like anything like they've done, but in their other stuff. It's "Hurry on Sundown." If you get a chance to listen to that, it's really, really kind of interesting tune. Uses harmonica and some different type of proggish type of things that you wouldn't necessarily hear in a regular rock song. Listen to their other albums. Like I said, none of their other albums sound anything like this song. This song's probably the most accessible song. If they tried to put it on radio, this would probably be the song they would be able to do. So get a chance, you should check it out. Number 5 for me on this side, I've got from After the Gold Rush, but I've got Don't Let It Bring You Down. Just great lyrics to that song. I mean, don't let it bring you down. It's only castles burning.
Yep.
Find someone who's turning and you will come around. I mean, just great stuff from Neil there. I love that album. That's my that's my favorite Neil Young album, not Harvest. So I know that's probably a hot take for a lot of people out there. But finishing off this side, I've got one that was very personal to Rich. Also, I like the song quite a bit. I got Father and Son by Cat Stevens, Yusuf, whatever he wants to call himself now. It was recently made popular again by the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 soundtrack. It was on there as a funeral song for one of the members that was in the movie. Great song though, very, like Rich he already touched upon it. It's kind of this back and forth lyrics that are going between the father and the son, and very, very personal, very good. It's very good stuff. So that ends off my side C, I guess you would say.
Excellent.
So.
Fantastic.
I don't know the Hawkwind song. I have to give that a spin.
No, I don't know that one.
Also,
check it out.
The James Gang. I know Funk 49. That was one of my honorable mentions.
This is the ending.
This
is the book into that. It's the last song on that album. So
cool.
Get a chance, check it out. Like I said, I went a little deeper on this album for some reason. So, but the songs that I like from that era. So,
yep.
Hey, that's good, buddy.
So.
And you had American Woman and Your Song and Father and Son. And we had 3 of the same there. Pretty good.
Yeah. Perfect. Onward to side 2. Rich has already mentioned this. I think it was one of the first songs that you mentioned, Rich. I've got Into the Mystic leading off my side D. From Moondance is the second song I picked from Moondance. Great song. I mean, I probably could have went back and forth on whether And It Stoned Me or this song, whether I wanted to put it on there. So And It Stoned Me is obviously going to be on my honorable mentions. I figured it's a great song to lead off with here on this side. Van Morrison's album, just fantastic. Another song I've got right number 2 from Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young is 4 and 20 from Deja Vu.
It's a great song, man.
Yeah, it's a great song. It's not very long. I think it's only maybe 2 minutes long, 2.5 minutes long.
2.5.
But nice, easy tune, nice, smooth tune. I really like it. Deja Vu is my favorite album of theirs, obviously. Great stuff on there. So number 3, Going Deep again. I actually really like this song, and especially now that I've seen Get Back, the documentary that was on Disney. I like I Me Mine from Let It Be. Yeah, I just once you kind of hear the story behind it, where you've got all this narcissistic energy in this room from all these alpha males, and and they're all just thinking about what's best for them, and this whole writing process and creating process of the album and stuff. And then I remember George coming in and talking about how he had this tune in his head, but didn't know how to put it all out there. And before you know it, man, you just hand it over to Paul, and Paul comes up with something.
It's done.
Got something for you, and it's kind of great. But I like the song. I think it's kind of cool. So that's my third one. Number 4 for me is Working Class Hero from John Lennon. I think it's a really great song about classism, particularly in the United States. If you think classism doesn't exist here, you're kind of crazy. It touches upon a lot of different subjects about, if you want to move up in this world, then you have to play their game. You want to live up on the hill with all the rest of the rich people, then you have to, do things a certain way and do what they tell you to do. And even in some instances, they said, you got to smile and kill. Talking about soldiers, if they want to fit in society and stuff. So very much talking about class, and what a great song. I think Green Day did a cover of it for the Darfur fundraising, and a completely different take, and it was just as fantastic. I thought they did a great job. Number 5 for me is from Tumbleweed Connection. Maybe not his strongest album in my opinion overall, but I like a couple of the tracks on there fairly well. I got Amarina by Elton John. I think it's a really great song. It's kind of, the whole album's kind of different. It requires multiple listens. Some people just don't like it on first listen. You got to go back and kind of listen a couple times. But this is a great track, nice and mellow and smooth, and kind of has this build up. All of his songs on that album for some reason have this slow build, then these grand crescendos, and then they bring you back down again. This is no different. And ending off my side D is going to be James Taylor's Fire and Rain. I thought maybe one of the most popular folk songs of that particular era. James always seemed to be cranking him out then, and my wife would be so proud of me for putting some James Taylor on this album. So, now, unlike you, Rich, who snubbed your wife's favorite song of all time.
Yeah, I know. I came up small there, but I did have Fire and Rain as a runner-up. I mean, I recognize it. I like the song a lot, but just didn't make the cut. Also, love Working Class Hero.
Yeah,
big time.
Yeah, those are all like that whole side there. Just it feels like there's probably 4 songs there that are just
what was your 5th song? What was number 5?
Number 5 was Amarina.
I love the whole Tumbleweed Connection album. I'm one of the ones that like that album. Yeah. It's like country kind of, it's kind of Western kind of motif. I like it.
Yeah.
But I know, like how Brian says, if you were to say this is like Sean or Doc's album, that sounds like a Sean or Doc. Brian, that definitely sounds like your album, buddy. It really does.
It does.
It just, I think it's because some of the tracks are just off the beaten path.
Off the beaten path, like to the point where we can all go off the beaten path, but my beaten path will sound maybe a little bit more familiar to somebody than somebody else. But there's some dives on some of those. That's a Brian album, man. It's a great album, buddy. Friggin' great.
Any album that has father and son on, great album.
I guess mine's a piece of crap.
No,
come on. All right, Doc, what do you got then, buddy?
Well, it's you see where I am, right? So when I start off my first album with Child in Time with Deep Purple, starting off my second album, I'm going back to Black Sabbath, man. It's War Pigs to start off, man.
Yeah.
So,
that works.
One of my favorite Sabbath tunes right there, man. It's what a great tune. This is 1970 Black Sabbath, man. Nothing sounded like this. Ozzy's fantastic sound here, man.
Yeah.
The generals gather. It's the whole that song, man, is freaking what a great song, great sounds, great vibe, great, interlude, even the middle, man, just the build up coming right back into the tune and stuff. It's a lot of Vietnam kind of war things to it and stuff because it came out that time. Yeah. It's not a Vietnam War song, man. This is just an evil, evil song, man. It was written by some guys, man. This is Black Sabbath doing something. It's a fantastic tune. I love the song, man. War Pig starts off. Number 2, man, I'm still rocking. What can I tell you? So number 2, it's Mountain Mississippi Queen, man, for me.
I was wondering if you'd have that. Good.
Yeah, I was wondering too. Yeah,
man. It's I can't get away. Here comes those riff tunes again for me, man. I'm screwed. So, not a long song or anything like that, but Mountain's got a really unique sound too. There's other things that they do later on. It sounds really good, man. Mountain's kind of like a little bit of an underrated kind of band. So, this was a big hit, obviously, off the first one to start off with, and to me, it just speaks volumes of 1970. And this would be right in my wheelhouse, definitely on my album, man. So,
good.
Another one that's right in my wheelhouse, man. So I'm 18 with Alice Cooper, man.
Nice.
So
big surprise, Alice.
Big surprise, eh? I like the Cooper sound, man. There's no getting around this.
Right.
And I'm rocking here, man. So this is what I'm getting in 1970. These are the rockers in 1970, and this is what you're going to hear from me. So
That's right.
I like the classic rock and everything else, but it gets a little heavier for me at times in my life. And this is, Alice Cooper, Black Sabbath, and Mountain, and Deep Purple. They're all going to be part of my conversation as we move along. So it's just the way it is. That's Sean's music at this time. So especially at the early 70s, man, really good rock and roll, classic, heavy rock at the time. So
yeah.
Follow that up with some CCR, man. A little bit more of a groovy tune there, man. Run Through the Jungle from them.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a little heavier song from them to keep it on this side for me as well. So, like CCR is banging them out here, man. It's 69 and 70 at this. Like Brian mentioned earlier, you could have had 12 songs here in the 2 years of their albums or whatever the case may be. But you can't go wrong dropping some CCR on any of these albums in 69, 70. And at this era, man, they're top of the game, man. So might not be done with them either, to be honest with you. Following that up, man. So I'm bringing it down a notch. I'm going Southern Man with Neil Young. Actually, is my number 5. So,
okay.
Yeah, I think we're all around. We have different thoughts here on Neil and CSNY and stuff like that and how it goes. But I go Southern Man. Just, I don't know, one of the more catchier songs to me from Neil, especially at this time. And sure, it was bigger and everything else in a lot of senses. I think there's a reason why at this time it was a little bigger too, maybe not such a deep cut. I think it just resonates more with me at that level. So definitely a top 5 or 10 or kind of thing Neil song for me. So Southern Man makes my list. Ending this side off with something that Rich had way back when, but it's Woodstock from CSNY, buddy. So
there you go.
Yeah. And you can't go wrong with this tune, man. Ending aside, I don't think it's perfect. It's
perfect.
Era driven, and let's face it, man. These guys sound fantastic. The harmonies these guys are putting out at this time. CSNY was also pretty much at the top of their game too. And these guys put out anything, man. It's freaking worth a listen. And this is a biggie, man. So
this album's really fantastic. The first super group in my opinion, right? I mean, that's got to be the first super group.
Pretty close to that.
Yeah, it probably is when you think about it. I was thinking
because you can't say that it's other bands because they became super because they were in they started that band, right? It's like you can't say, well, it was Blind Faith. Well, those guys weren't that big yet.
Yeah,
they were in Blind Faith. They became big later, and then it seems like it's a super group, later on, right?
Well, Blind Faith had guys from Traffic and Cream and other bands.
Cream, yeah.
But you're right. They're probably the biggest that made it big, for sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
Maybe that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that Doc had Southern Man. We were all over the map with Neil. And also that CCR song, Run in the Jungle. That fits the hard rock theme because that's one of their harder songs. That's one of their rock.
Yeah.
So that works on that side for sure.
Absolutely not surprised at all. Alice Cooper. I was like, what Alice Cooper is he going to pick? That's all I was saying to myself. What Alice Cooper? I was like, he's got so much stuff coming up in the next.
Picked a good song.
Oh yeah, the next. Yeah,
I think you picked the right song. I love that song.
That's a great tune, man. Really good tune. It's actually a recut from a song that he had off his first one that he didn't like it, so it's recutted under I'm 18. That was my side 3, I guess, or C, or whatever you want to call it. So, I guess if I was doing D or the 4th side here of my albums, I started off with Bridge Over Troubled Water, buddy.
There you go.
Wow, that really mellowed out. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's a heavy side, and I'm bringing it back down. I like to have the tones on my sides. I think, if I'm going to play one or play both, sometimes there'll be a mix, and sometimes there won't. And it just depends on how much music there is to draw from. There's so much to draw from. It just makes sense to almost separate them out from me. So not much more you can say about what Rich talked about previously on a previous video about this song, but this is a classic tune from Simon and Garfunkel, man. This is the end of their run, really. This is their last album.
Like their swan song. Yeah,
that's their swan song, and it's it'll start my last side, starting with them. I'm going with the Kinks' Lola, man, as my second tune. So I just knew a lot of Kinks when I was younger and stuff like that. I liked a lot of Kinks. Older brothers. I blame them for that probably, but I'm going to blame them for the good stuff. That's the good stuff they threw at me. And, songs that just have been with me my whole life. Lola's one of them, man. So, and I didn't know all the lyrics and what it all meant at certain ages when I was listening to this stuff now. But, talk about a controversial and, a big leap of faith kind of song when it came out too. So it's a really good song. So that's my second tune on this side, man. Number 3, still liking that CCR, boys. Have you ever seen The Ring? So that's my third song.
Yep.
I won't harp on it too much, man. CCR is pumping them, and I like CCR. So it's I could have had many songs, but this is just one that fits this side maybe a little better for me. And I could have drawn from many, but a couple of really good albums to draw from here, and I'm just taking that one with me. I've never seen The Ring. It's a great song. Love that song too. So
That was on Pendulum, right?
yeah.
Great song.
Yep.
Number 4. Rich, you'll be happy, man. It's 2564, man.
Nice.
By Chicago.
Man.
Didn't expect it, but I'm happy.
Oh yeah, man. I'd say I like that fusion, horn, all that kind of stuff going on too, man. So I can go from War Pigs to Chicago on the same album, but I'm all over the map too, right? So
yeah.
But it's pretty diverse. So I like to think that's what my music is, and sometimes, and it has a boundary, but Chicago's inside that boundary, man. Especially at this time, they're pumping in some good stuff too. So that's my 4th one. But then it would go back to what, Brian said, and they left the freaking window open in 3 Dog Night, told me not to come. So that's my next tune on this one. So, yeah, it's another one of those ones. It's just a catchy little, hippie-ish kind of tune, man. And it's another one that I've known for a long time, and I've liked it for a long time. So 1970, it's on my album, man. I got 24 to pick. That's one of them. Do I end it with that 5-minute guitar solo or that 7-minute guitar solo, or how long is that damn guitar solo? I don't know, but it is Layla, man. So
there you go. I like it.
What do you say, man? It's classic, and
we all had it.
I think it's a great tune to end the album.
It is. It's a good one. Yeah, it's a classic. I mean, that might be the song of the year when you come right down to it. I mean, it's that good.
There's loads, man. There's loads.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, that first side is just all you, Doc. It's absolutely all you. I'm just crazy how all you that is. That's insane. But I was surprised that we didn't hit on that many. I don't think we had that. I don't think we only had 3 trifectas here, guys.
What do we have? Yeah. Your song, Layla, and there's one other.
Let It Be.
What was it?
I can't remember.
It was.
I can't remember now.
We have Let It Be.
Let It Be.
We Let It Be.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, but a lot of us had, two of us. Yeah. There's a lot of 2s, but there's not a lot of trifectas.
There's 2 Father and Sons. There's 2 Bridge Over Troubled Water. There's 2 American Woman. What else?
There's 2, If You Could Read My Mind.
Yes, there's 2 of that.
There's 2, My Sweet Lord.
Right.
Yep.
There's 2, we did all Let It Be,
there's
right?
2 into
there's
the
2
Mystic.
I'm Your Captain.
Yeah, 2 into the Mystic.
Right. Yep. I'm Your Captain. So we had like
2 Immigrant Song.
2 Immigrant
2 Paranoids.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We had 8 or 9 2s.
Yeah.
2 Woodstocks.
Maybe 10.
That's awesome.
We were all over it.
Since we have no time factor, I'm going to hit some honorable mentions because this year loaded. I've always liked the song "All Right Now" by Free.
I have that down.
Yeah, I know it's overplayed. I know you use it in commercials, but I don't care. It's a great song. I had "Sweet Jane" by Velvet Underground, "Evil Ways" by Santana, great song. "Fire and Rain," every song on Moondance I wrote down, every single one. "Ball of Confusion" by the Temptations, a little Motown. "No Matter What" by Badfinger. No matter what. Funk 49, James Gang. "Big Yellow Taxi," Joni Mitchell. "Spill the Wine," Eric Burden and War. "Uncle John's Band" and "Ripple" from Grateful Dead. I like them both. "Eight Man" by the Kinks. "Ride Captain Ride," Blues Image. "Share the Land," the Guess Who. "Make Me Smile," Chicago. "Teach Your Children in Our House" from CSNY. A little Motown, or not Motown, but soul. "Didn't I Blow Your Mind This Time," the Delphonics. Also highlighted in Jackie Brown, the movie. "I Want You Back" by the Jackson 5. Love that first song they had. Working Class Hero, Mama Told Me Not to Come, and one more, Ride Captain Ride by Blues Image. That's it.
I can't believe you didn't have No in the Summertime.
Oh, that's another good one. I missed that one. In the Summertime, Mungo Jerry. I like that song too. That's a good one.
I had, here's a couple, and then I want to tell you one that I wanted so bad to put on here, and you'd be surprised that I liked the song, but it just didn't fit anything. There's no way I could do it.
Oh, I want to hear this one, Brian.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got All Right Now, Run Through the Jungle, Spirit in the Sky, and Big Yellow Taxi. I had those all written down. But I kept trying to find a place for Anne Murray's Snowbird.
Red, you tiny wee.
Oh,
And I could not find a place that fit, although I love the song. I love the cadence of the song and the imagery of the song.
Yeah.
But
it
just didn't fit.
I actually had that song on a 45 when I was 13 years old, 1970.
Is that right?
Tribute.
you should have done
Murray.
that song, Brian. You should have done that song as a hidden track.
Yeah. Yeah. Layla fades out and then it's Snowbird.
Snowbird goes in.
I like it. All of a sudden, 20 seconds later, here comes Anne Murray.
That's
She's
pretty
another
funny.
Canadian, right, Doc? Isn't she from Canada? Anne
Yeah,
Murray?
yeah, sure she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time, man. Kind
What
of
do you
national hero here, buddy.
What
I
do
had
you
Spill the
got,
Wine, buddy.
Yeah.
Moon Dance. I
Oh,
had No Matter What. I
Yep.
also had Without You from Badfinger as well.
Yeah.
Tears of a Clown. I had War, All Right Now, In the Summertime. They all were on my honorables, man.
In the summer.
wow.
Time when the weather is... Hey, it's catchy, man. What
That's
do you
a
want?
classic. Yeah. Oh, man. You could go 50, 60 deep and still have some missing. That's how big that year was.
Yeah.
You could have done albums, man. You could have done, CCR,
No,
Cosmos, and dropped
Yeah.
everything in there.
yeah, we've stayed away from that, which is good. But by the time we're done, we have like 5 or 6 CCR songs. We each have 2 or
Yeah.
3, and that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I had.
we
three
must
in
have
this
had like 4. We must have had 4 different Neil Young songs that
Neil
we
Young.
completely did. Yeah, you know.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
very cool.
Well, all righty. I guess that's going to do it for volume 2. So that's for 1970, our volume 2. We're going to get that up as soon as we possibly can for everybody out there. But I want to thank Rich for joining me again. I really appreciate it. I'm going to put his link down below to his channel. And then I'll put the links down below to all the other years that you can watch. I encourage you to watch it. Also, a big thank you to Doc, who
Always fun, Brian.
brings the rockin' flavor, man. And I think as we get into the 70s, it's just going to get harder and harder.
Look out, baby. Look out.
That's right. It's going to be
Okay,
great.
boy.
So, but
Sorry, gang,
again,
it's
I
coming.
appreciate everybody tuning in. Hope to talk to everybody soon, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.
Take care, everybody.
Peace.
See ya.